Season 52, War number 3. Today we've matched up against Bolt, and the bans are going to be Lady Deathstrike, Luke Cage, Silk, Spider-Man 2099, and Count Nefaria. And today my team is going to be all science. We are using Mr. Negative, Photon, and Morbius. And Negative and Morbius are both rank 3, and will be getting all my fights today. Photon is simply here for a synergy, and this is going to be a very entertaining war. Both Negative and Morbius have 3 fights, and I am taking 3 mini-bosses, one of which is a final boss for this war. So to start today, we're going to be on Path 1, and we're going to fight Node 1 Thing, which is the only non-tactic fight I have this war, but it is a relatively simple fight for Negative. I just need to basically count to 15, and everything is under control, as long as I just take Thing normally, So anyway, we trigger our evade there, and obviously the main focus of this node is just the regen, but we not only cover that with just having Tactic up, but also if we didn't have Tactic, we just have Negative's ability to use his Petrifies on his SP2 and the Despair Mastery to just kind of shut it off, and my Negative being rank 3 and I'm fully boosted and everything can just easily take out Thing's whole health with 1 degen cycle. So yeah, this fight is basically over. Again, the only non-tactic fight that I have this war, but yeah, it was a pretty easy one. And then next up we're gonna move on to Morbius on Mephisto on node 10 with Morbius. So if you didn't know, Mephisto is a pretty fun fight for Morbius, and the reason for that is I think one of Mephisto's big annoying defensive mechanics is actually his regen, because it just pops up when he hits 30% health no matter what you're doing, and you just can't damage him for like 5 seconds, and it can really mess up a bunch of cycles. But there's a lot of things that make Morbius really fun for this fight, and one of them, another thing, is the fact that your Fervor buff, you can get it prevented by his Soul Imprisonment, meaning you get the passive and have a lot of extra glides. And then another thing that makes this fight nice is that you have Mephisto at 1% and get that healing up before he dies. So I have a little bit of Life Steal to heal back some of the aura damage right there, so that was pretty cool. I didn't even get to talk about like everything in detail about that fight because it just ended so fast. And speaking of ending fast, I'm not even gonna bother to explain the Claire fight because I'm not gonna have time to. But the main thing about this fight, obviously Claire bleed immune, but Morbius, he does a fun thing where if he's duped, he will place ruptures instead of bleeds, with a certain % chance of triggering if the opponent is bleed immune. That is, of course, if he's awakened. And then you just kind of take care of Claire's ability power with the heal block and Morbius's personal petrify, and then we just kind of nuke her. Like, that was a 21-second war fight. Possibly the fastest war fight I've had in many seasons. So, anyway, just like that, we're only 3.5 minutes into the video, and I'm already out of path fights, and we're doing the minis now. Because I didn't take the Dust later on 4, I path split that one with another member of my alliance. So now we're taking Ebony Maw on node 41, and this fight is pretty fine simply because we're using degen resistance the champion, because Ebony Maw is nothing for Mr. Negative. Again, it's a matchup best practice for a very long time. Again, you are literally degen resistance the champion, because not only do I have resistances for each unique debuff on the opponents, I also, if I'm awakened, I just flat out heal from degen. And you saw I got unfazed there because I had my Photon Synergy on cooldown, just didn't notice it in the middle of the fight. So the Photon Synergy gives me a slow, so that when I evade, I don't get unfazed. That's really important. But either way, the fight's already just about over, and yeah, so even though it's a Maw that is relatively scary on Bubble Shield and the root node, it's nothing for Negative. So now we have the most interesting fights, and these 2 fights are gonna take up the entire rest of the video, other half of the video. Like, we're only halfway through the voiceover, but I'm gonna be taking this Amora on node 49 with Morbius. This fight is scary. It's a lot scarier than Enchantress on node 14 in my opinion. Just because negative, for the most part, if I know what I'm doing, I can just destroy her on node 14 with. But for using Morbius versus this Amora on node 49, it's definitely difficult with how long the fight can take. That is lag, by the way. That is not you. That is my phone lagging. That was so bad and so terrifying. I didn't know if I was going to eat a heavy attack or anything. But, like, yeah. I need to manage all of her spells as well as I possibly can. And, hopefully kill her before she kills me. Morbius, I think, is probably the best assignment for this fight. Other counters exist in, like, I-Bomb, possibly Joe Fix-It, but Morbius just having really easy access to a damage over time debuff and just pretty good damage in general makes him pretty good for this fight. I did not mean to parry there. I somehow parried instead of dashed back. I basically got Blexterity'd, but either way. Now I'm in my corner, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm supposed to do. Anyway, I eventually push her SP2, which is a good thing because she doesn't activate spells on her SP2, and she also pushes herself away from my corner a little bit so I can go for the counter and then give myself a little distance from the corner, which is definitely helpful there. So anyway, now I'm feeling a lot better because I'm out of the corner. I just need to ideally get to an SP2 with her spells off. Hopefully that's going to finish the job. And let's see, here I'm going to go for a heavy attack. And ideally she doesn't throw her special here. And she doesn't, but I forgot about tactic. So now she has the power gain. I'm missing. The only ability power control I have is Morbius's Petrify, and then I drop an SP2 right into her Damage Reflect, because I didn't get rid of those miss spells, so I am at very low health. Am I going to get out of this fight alive? We'll have to see. But basically, I'm like, okay, time to full send, because I can't stay in this fight much longer. We go for the Relic, and I'm at 6%. I need this SP2 to kill her. I don't have Petrify for extra damage. It doesn't have damage anyway. So we won. That was so scary, man. Just dropping that SP2 when she had the orange spells up. Big mistake. It almost cost me a deathless season. But it didn't. So I'm very thankful that I got the solo in that fight. And then we're going to finish the war with a Man-Thing boss. And I have not taken a war boss since a Mysterio boss back in Season 50. So it's been a very long time. I'm finally getting another boss. I'm really excited for this one because I know it's a fight that I'm just very confident in with Negative. Negative versus Man-Thing, another matchup I've been doing for forever. And also ramping Negative versus stun immune fights is not that bad. It's helpful for his kit, and it also is helpful for getting tactic up, because if you didn't know, you gain Secutor charges when a stun is prevented by immunity, which I don't know if that's a bug, but it was that way in off-season, it's that way still now, so I'm gonna continue to use it until it's confirmed to be a bug or something. Anyway, yeah, I'm gaining Secutor charges constantly, just like that, and then at this point, I got on phase there. Why didn't I have the slow? Was it really on cooldown? I barely even noticed. But either way, this SP2 is going to finish the job. We 21 degens, 18k per tick. We got a Fury up too for extra damage. Slow him again, and then we finish him off just like that. So, War Boss in 90 seconds with my favorite science champion in the game, Mr. Negative. So, there we go. We did lose the war by quite a bit. We just did not play very well this one, clearly. I mean, giving 35 deaths obviously shows that. But Bolt played very well. Good job to them. They've definitely had the least amount of deaths our opponents have put up by a lot. So wishing them good luck for the rest of the season, because I have a few friends there. But yeah, they played very well. And leaderboard is not out as of the time of recording this. We'll probably still be in mid, maybe high Platinum 1. goal is to hit Masters again, repeat of Season 50. We'll see if we can get there. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.